Okay, this will be fun today. So I want to go through the 3 reasons to use a Google Ads branded campaign. Some of the topics that I'll cover are age-old debate topics. They've been around for years. Others are new perspectives. And so there's 3 main reasons I want to cover. Number 3 is something that not many people talk about, but it's probably the biggest thing that's the biggest opportunity that's slept on like the most with branded campaigns. So let me jump into it. And I actually want to share my screen here. So I just created this blog, which I'm basing this YouTube video off of on my website. So I'm gonna walk through this and use this as my guide for my talking points. Right? I'm doing this live. I want to make this quick and efficient for you guys. Number 1, you want brand protection. If you have somebody bidding on your branded term, then this is definitely something that you would want to do. So what does that mean? I have an example here. This is SAP. If you don't know them, they have an enterprise ERP software. And so you can see this position number 1. This is a branded campaign. So they are SAP. They're bidding on their own term. Well, if they weren't bidding on that term, they would have this ECI software solutions. They would be showing up above their organic result. And so this is definitely something that they would want to be defending their own branded term for. Now, it's really easy to defend your own branded term. The other place, just really quick, the other place that you can see this, inside of Google Ads, you have this auction insights report. So if you're running a branded campaign, you can come to this insights and reports, auction insights, then you can see any other brands that might be bidding on your term. Let me go to this other client here. In their auction insights, it's just them. So they have no competition here. They're the only ones bidding on their terms. Well, what I was getting at, it's really easy to defend your own branded term. So for this client, because they're the only one bidding on their term, they have a 7-cent cost per click, right? That's almost nothing. And I can guarantee that other competitor, they're going to have much higher cost per clicks. And let me show you why. So you can't really see it here behind my camera, but this is a 7-day, 7/7 comparison window. You can see that I dropped this cost per click with this new client of mine by 64%. Now, how did that happen? That was made by one change. Their ad strength before I started working with them was poor. And so I just got this to excellent. That one thing dropped this 64%, right? 64%, that maybe it was like 20 cents. I don't know. Well, I can actually expand and see right now. It was 19 cents, so pretty close. But 19 down to 7, like that's a huge improvement. The other thing that people don't look too much at, and what makes a huge impact here, is your quality score on your keywords. If you don't have this pulled up, you would need to go into your columns and add them. So if you have a good quality score, these ones are excellent, right? 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. This is typically what you see for a branded campaign because of these 3 factors. Landing page experience, your brand name is all over your website. So that's going to match really well. The other components of this are like technical SEO and things like that, page load speeds. So if you're getting below above average, then you need to probably work on the technical SEO on your site. Ad relevance, your brand name is going to be all over your ads as well. So that should be above average all the time. And your expected click-through rate should also be above average all the time, because look at the click-through rate on these ads. This is a 46% click-through rate. No other company is going to get that same click-through rate on your branded term. And so there's no reason why somebody should outcompete you. You should always have the highest position and the lowest average cost per click, unless your brand is something pretty generic in the industry. Then that's a different scenario here. But one thing that people don't realize is these quality scores, this ad strength and the quality score metrics, Google doesn't want to serve low quality ads. So if you have low quality ads, you're gonna be throttled. You're gonna have what's called a CPC threshold increased. So your average cost per click, even though nobody else is bidding on the term, it's gonna go up, and you're gonna pay more for the same clicks just because you don't have quality ads, you don't have a quality experience for the end user. Google cares a lot about that, and so they're gonna charge you more for it. Anyways, that's a lot of context there. I hope that makes sense. Let me go back here. So that's all about brand protection. Number two is poor organic SEO results. Let me go back to my examples here. My brand right now, Gridari, I just pulled this up. Again, I'm incognito here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 10 listings on the first page all talk about me. I have this bar over here for my Google business profile. This is a 10 out of 10. I don't necessarily need to have, if somebody wants to bid on my term, then I'd probably want to have a defensive campaign there like we just talked about. But, if somebody wants to find me, they're going to find me, right? Like everything points back to my site here. So I would say I don't have a need for number two here. But I have clients where you can see that there's common issues here. You're a small business, you're a startup, or you're a brand with a generic name. So this example here is of a client of mine. They're called the Aurora Lights. They do permanent home lighting, permanent Christmas lights, things like that for homes. Very generic term. And so people are often searching for the Northern Lights. They're highly unlikely to get a first position on this type of search. And so in their market, yes, we're definitely running branded campaigns because they have such a generic term. The other scenario that I ran into is almost a year and a half ago, I was head of marketing for this SaaS startup. They're called Hona. Hona, when I got there, they had no branded organic SEO. Google thought that I was mistyping Honda. They'd send me like a whole bunch of Honda dealerships near me. And then there was this Home of Nail Arts, and they do nails and like beauty salons and stuff like that. And so one of my first projects with them is I got them off of a Wix site onto a professional site, got their SEO on point, and we started ranking organically. While we were working on that, we definitely had a branded campaign running. So if somebody typed in Hona, we would show up. We wanted to make sure we're capturing that demand, and we didn't want to get people to get lost or make it needlessly difficult to find us. So those are the reasons and the examples. Now the one thing, like there is some gray area here. So I want to show this. Google ran this case study back in 2011, and what they were showing is that running search ads on your branded terms increases traffic by 89%. Now, I haven't dug too much into this, but I've heard about this article, this blog. I've heard it mentioned dozens of times. Do search ads cannibalize your organic search results? This is Google coming out and saying, no, they don't. They actually increase things a lot. I tend to see that where, I've heard other stats where you see total traffic increase by 30%. And I think that it depends, right? Like, are you an Aurora Lights where you have no branded search? Or are you an SAP where it's like, oh yeah, I own the first 1, 2, 3, but I don't own the fourth? Or maybe you just own the first, like Hona, but number 2 is somebody else. So this is where I don't know which scenarios this study was done in. If they were all companies like Hona, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you look at a comparison here with SAP, just SAP having this ad, they own a lot more of this above the fold real estate. Especially if ECI wasn't competing here, somebody would have to go all the way to the bottom of the page to find a competitor listing. So there's a lot of what I'd say gray area here, and this is where most of the debate happens in the industry. Is it worth it? Is it not? This is the gray area, but I hope so far I've helped address that. So let me get to reason 3, and this is what is by far the most slept on out of anything, and it's increasing conversion rates for first-time visitors, or maybe not even first-time visitors, but non-customers. So I have an example here. This is Adobe Creative Cloud. So Adobe here, they're bidding on their own brand terms, right? They have no competition, and they own the first basically 2 pages of Google. So why would Adobe bid on their own branded term? Well, their strategy here is my point exactly. They're trying to increase conversion rates. Look what happens when I load up this page. I have it pulled up here already, but this is not their homepage. You'll notice this is a landing page. because homepages are built to direct traffic. They're not built to convert traffic. They're built to get people, new customers are important. So there definitely is an aspect to conversions there, but there's also news sites and existing customers and, people who come to the site for a million different reasons. And the homepage is meant to direct people. It's not meant to convert. And so I would not be surprised if Adobe, in doing this, they've 3-4x their conversion rates. You could probably go from a 1% conversion rate on this brand campaign up to a 4% or higher. So this is definitely what's the most slept on. And how you do this is you would just build a Google Analytics audience or something about people who have visited your site in the past, and add that as an exclusion to your brand campaign. That way you know that everybody who sees that ad is going to be net new. They've never been to your site before, or at least within that audience window. Or you can integrate with your CRM and pull in existing customer data. And with the existing customers, now you know everybody who's seeing this page is not a customer. And so, I want to send them to a page where they're more likely to convert. I can hone my messaging, right? Free trial. I can hone my offer to be something that's engaging for them. And this is an incredibly powerful strategy that I think is just slept on. So now if you want to run these campaigns, if your competition is stealing traffic, definitely run these campaigns. If you have terrible SEO, definitely run these campaigns. And what I think makes it most accessible to all advertisers is just create a campaign for net new users. That will highly increase your conversion rates, and you'll probably see fantastic results from it. Last consideration here, a lot of marketers love running these brand campaigns because they just show great results, right? You have great results. And I think a lot of people are guilty of I'm just gonna try and capture the existing demand of people that would have come to the site and converted anyways. At least, I know that people have that motive, and they want to show good results to their client. They want to show good results to their boss. But the reason I'm creating this video and the reason I created this article is to show that there are better, smarter ways of doing it. You don't have to rely on silly, simple tactics that aren't going to drive results for the business. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has been impactful. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to respond to them, and like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye.